the highly anticipated Ghostbusters trailer was released to mostly negative reviews. People feel like something they love from their childhood is being run by the wrong people into the ground. Welcome to the club. Ring the bell. Welcome to the show. I'm JR Perez. Let's talk about the new WWE special, Roadblock. Why is it called Roadblock? Because even subliminally, they want you to think about The Rock. Now, the main event sees Triple H take on Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight title. This is the most obvious ending since American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson trial. Another match happening for some reason is Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. Now, we try to contact Bray Wyatt to see what he thinks about the match, and this is what he said. Brock Lesnar, you're going to fight the darkness of everyone's soul into the darkness of evil with pregnancies and Sister Abigail and sins and weird words and kind of things about rape, maybe not rape, but evil or something. It's weird. We put that into Google Translate, and apparently means eat, sleep, job, repeat. I don't know what that means. Speaking of losers, after losing a chance at the WWE Tag Team titles, Chris Jericho turned on AJ, turning Y2AJ to Y2NAJ. Huh? Put that joke on Twitter. Which is weird. So pretty much at the end of the match, Jericho gave AJ the code breaker and then shoved their shirt down his throat. Which I don't understand why that breaks up a team. My girl crushes my head in her thighs and shoves stuff down my throat all the time. Am I right, guys? Oh, okay. I'm the weird one? Fine. We'll be back.
Ring the Bell is sponsored by Mr. Thoroughgood's Cheesecakes. They're not good, they're thorough good.
Welcome back. In wrestling podcast news, Colt Cabana was a little awkward on his podcast talking about an incident with a girl in Canada. Obviously, speculation blew up on Reddit, leading to Colt having to confess exactly what happened. Turns out, in a match at an indie show in Canada, a girl in the front row started yelling, "You think you're hot, but you're not. You think you're hot, you're ugly." Colt, being Colt, made a joke, looked at her and said, "Honey, we're gonna make love tonight." Turns out the girl was 14 years old and started crying immediately. It was weird, but thank God the match ended very quickly as Chris Hansen came to the ring with a chair. He didn't hit anybody, he just put it down and asked Colt to take a seat so they can have a few minutes to chat. And well, Colt got out of there okay, thank God, and back to his studio apartment in Chicago, Illinois.
Thanks.
In other creepy sex news, Hulk Hogan is suing Gawker for $100 million. It's big news. It's all about the sex tape. People are confused about exactly what's going on. So we here at Ring the Bell want to help with our brand new segment, Ring the Bell Explains It All.
Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
All right, so here's the deal. Hulk Hogan is suing Gawker because Gawker put up a little snippet of a sex tape that they received anonymously. The sex tape is Hulk Hogan having sex with his friend Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, Mrs. Love Sponge, or whatever she's called. Little side note, Bubba the Love Sponge seems like the snarf of Hulk Hogan's entire group. Like he just walks around going, "Love Sponge, Love Sponge, Love Sponge." Anyway, so they showed the little clip of him having sex and getting blown and all this weird stuff. They whatever. Hulk Hogan says that it is a violation of his rights, a violation of his personal space, so on and so forth. Gawker says, hey, no, people need to know for some reason that Hulk Hogan was filmed secretly having sex with his friend's wife. Now, that's the same sex tape all the racist stuff came from. And realistically, if the racist stuff was what they showed, they'd have a case. Because, hey, people spend money on Hulk Hogan. People would be interested to know if there are minorities that Hulk Hogan doesn't like, that maybe they shouldn't spend money on him. That's news. However, they said it was not that big a deal because he was on it. Now, in their defense, quote unquote, they said, oh, but it's not that much. There was only 9 seconds of actual intercourse. 9 seconds of intercourse? What is it, a 10 count when you're outside the ring? It's all right, guys, doesn't count. We slid in at 9. And by the way, being part of Geekade.com and all the guys here, trust me, 9 seconds of intercourse counts. We all agree. So now Hulk Hogan is testifying in his trial, and he's pretty shaken up about it.
It was a situation where a lot of things were happening at the same time. I tried unsuccessfully to get my wife to come back, and she verbally, over and over and over, would say, F you, I'm not coming back, you're too old, you're too slow, you don't turn me on, I'm going to find somebody younger. It was constantly being said to me. My son was in a lot of trouble. I wasn't working, I didn't have a job, and she basically said, I'm filing for divorce. All I did was call Bub up, and I was just crying like a baby on the phone to him. I just broke down because he knew everything. He knew what I was going through. I told him everything that was going on with her, and he encouraged me to try to get her back. You know, it'll work out. It was like a low point in my life that when Bubba says, hey man, come over to the house, you know, let's talk, you know, I was just so desperate. I went over there. One thing led to another. I just let my guard down. I felt like those people cared about me. I felt like I bottomed out. I felt like I just gave up. I just gave up, gave in, and let my guard down, and it just happened.
You could tell it was a serious situation as he wore his cemetery/Hall of Fame/trial bandana. So what it comes down to is either Hulk Hogan, who said horrible racist things and hurt a lot of his fans, winds up with $100 million and Gawker goes out of business, or Gawker wins and there is a precedent that people can have their personal, intimate moments shown without their consent all over the world. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. So as a wrestling fan, there's only one thing I can say. At least it wasn't Flair. Woo! We're honored to film here at the New York Comedy Club. If you want to see a show at a discounted rate, go to their website, newyorkcomedyclub.com, and use the promotion code RINGTHEBELL. Finally, we want to give it up for our MVP, Mamacita Loca, a.k.a. Donna Jo Tanner, a.k.a. Donna Jo Fuller, a.k.a. DJ Tanner, not to be confused with DJ Tanner. She won her very first pro wrestling match after coming in through the crowd. I mean, that's some good booking. Am I right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You don't like my Full House jokes?
No.
Do you want me to stop with these Full House jokes?
I would love it.
Do you want me to cut it out? As always, follow us on Instagram, add us on Twitter, check out our Facebook page, check out Geekade.com, Why I Love Wrestling, and Piledriver27 or whatever they are. They seem right. And as always, support local independent wrestling. We'll see you guys next time.
Segment 2, 1, take 1.